Hello and welcome, everybody.
We're in the place they call the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, the home of the Raptors, where we're broadcasting live, bringing you another edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. For the Raptors, happy to be here in Toronto right now in the midst of a nice homestand. They've been playing very well lately. It's been 4 wins for them in their last 5 games.
Yeah, and as far as the regular season goes, this is as good as it gets. This truly, to me, is the definition of a rivalry. I mean, the game between these two teams has always been special.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen a ton of great games between them in the past. It's hard not to get amped up when they face each other. I've been looking forward to this one for a while.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court right now for the Celtics. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Mickey out there with Horford, and it's Brown in at the 3 slot. Toronto with the ball. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And the thing I took away from that one was just how valuable their guys coming off the bench were.
I thought the reserves were the difference in the game, Greg. I mean, a lot of the scoring came from the bench.
One thing about Kyle Lowry, he has a bulldog mentality. We saw that from his days at Villanova.
No question about that, and I love that about him. He's very simple, not really flashy, just consistently beats the rock. He wears his opponents down.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Now, here's Lowry. His last outing, he had 8 points. Just 5 to shoot. Steps back and fires. And the shot falls short this time.
And talking about Lowry, going to Toronto was a godsend for him. I mean, he had clashed with a number of coaches early in his career. His hard-headedness had been working against him. But in Toronto, he learned how to buy into a system and save the wrath for his opponent.
And for Lowry, he's been on fire the past couple of seasons. He's shown toughness, leadership, and the instinct to make winning plays on the court at both ends.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And, of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
Here's Lowry. Isaiah Thomas making his last shot. A wide open look here for Ibaka. No good, unable to end this run.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
Exactly. They don't come much better or easier than that.
Now, here's Horford. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. You're talking about Isaiah Thomas before. Certainly his short stature limits him on Clark, the defensive side.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't rack up a ton of steals, given his instincts and quickness. I think he really focuses on making his impact at the offensive end.
Here's Thomas after the made shot from Kyle Lowry. Here's Brown. Banked in off the glass. Brown's got 6.
Now, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
Here's Ibaka. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 or 3 so far.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
And stolen by Horford. Got a piece of it. Brown with it. Lowry picks him up. Thomas against Carroll. Horford in the post. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Celtics.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Ibaka, no luck. Here's Boston now. They're on a 12-4 run. Thomas goes in. Over in the corner, Brown. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Raptors trail by 4. DeRozan passes to Ibaka. Kicks it to Valanciunas. The jump hook, and it's good off the back rim and in.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
And DeRozan, here we go. That ties the game.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's his first foul. And the Raptors with some changes. Thunder comes in for Valanciunas. And it's Joseph in for DeMar Carroll. 56 seconds left here in the first quarter. Thomas against Lowry. Pass to Horford. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
And it's sent back by Horford. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Thomas. Here's Bradley. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Bradley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Brown against DeRozan. With 1 on the clock. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And a chance to hear from point guard Kyle Lowry about the chemistry of this Raptors team. They're all pulling in.
You know, we got a group of guys who...
The question is whether or not that team unity, as rare as it is making a difference for the Raptors. Does it make Kyle Lowry any better? Do they just give it more time?
You know, you could argue it both ways, Kevin, because it's worked both ways. I mean, teams that couldn't stand one another have won rings, and so have tight-knit groups who were really close. So there's really no magic formula. I think there's a little bit of art to go with the science in that.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been much more intense defensively. And their defense not only has been intense, but it's been swarming and saran wrap-like.
Patrick Patterson is out there with Thunder. Then it's P. Then it's Corey Joseph. And it's DeRozan in at the small forward position. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. And now let's turn to the 2K leaderboard for a look at the squads that have the most points in transition over the past 10 games. In fourth, the Celtics.
I mean, tough to maintain this kind of pace over an entire season. But let me tell you, they are really running right now.
Damari Carroll's checked in for Toronto. Jerebko's checked in for Boston. Gerald Green comes in for Brown. And the foul on Marcus Smart. That is his first foul of the game. To the paint, and stolen by Horford.
And you saw him gauging that pass there. He knew they were coming inside with it and got in position for the steal.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And let's briefly take a look at the stats for Smart. How last month turned out for him. He's getting around 4 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he continues to hone his game. I think the potential is there.
Oh, yeah, you can see the potential clearly, but it's raw, unrefined. He needs to keep polishing it up.
He hits the second from the line. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Powell dishes to Carroll. The feed to Patterson, and it's Joseph in the corner. The pass to Thunder. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. It's his first trip to the line. And the first one drops. Kyle Lowry. He's checked in for Powell. 2 shots. Second free throw, no good. Last game for the Celtics, it was a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas.
Yeah, not a fan of moral victories, but that game... in a lot of ways was a confidence booster for them because they really didn't have it that night and yet still had a chance.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think they're one of the few teams that can play that poorly and still almost come away with the win.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Mickey's checked in for Jerebko. Young comes in for Gerald Green. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Smart. And that one's good. What about Kyle Lowry on offense? The last 2 seasons, he's been absolutely dominant, Clark.
Yeah, he's developed enough as a point guard now to where he really knows how to direct and lead his team. He's not just a catalyst anymore. He's a leader, and that's the big difference I see with him. And his shot has become more refined.
Carroll with it, and Young picks him up defensively. And that one is hammered home.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Here's Mickey. No luck. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. Last meeting was in Boston, where they were unable to fight off the Celtics.
Yeah, not a very inspired performance for them, particularly when they were defending. They just gave that hostile crowd plenty to cheer for.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jump shots, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was through the roof. You can't win if your defense isn't better than that.
The dish now to Lowry. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And just a top-notch free throw shooter this year, all the way up there at 88%.
And I like the fact, guys, that those numbers have gone up since last season. I mean, he said free throw shooting was an area he was looking to improve, and he had.
And there's the foul on Jay Crowder. That's foul number 2 for him.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
And it's the Raptors' ball. They're on a 10-1 run. Lowry against Thomas, and it's Lowry penetrating. Here's Valanciunas. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 6 assists here tonight. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Here's Thomas. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
And, you know, you can feel the desperation right now. They're starting to lose their composure offensively.
Yeah, it's palpable, Greg. I mean, clearly you can see the frustration. And it's understandable. I mean, right now they're on the wrong side of a big run.
Now here's Crowder. He's guarded closely. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting two. And Toronto called for the foul. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Toronto.
They've set the first half tone by getting out on the fast break and getting the defenders on their heels.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
The Raptors making a switch here. DeRozan's checked in, and Lowry gets it to go.
Man, their offense is really cranked up in the second quarter.
And their field goal percentage shows that over 60 now. Tough to beat them when they shoot it like that.
And let's quickly check in on the season's top rookie rebounders so far. Well, you look at Brown, one of the game's best, second in the league.
Already in his first season, he's really a man in the paint. Ready-made with the strength and determination to make his presence felt.
Well, what he lacks in experience, he makes up for with toughness and hustle. Rebounding is one of those skills you can develop early, and he's been the best at it so far.
DeRozan's shot is good.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Brown, good.
That's a heads-up play there on offense. The pump fake cleared the way for the nice layup.
Here's Toronto now. They're on a 16-5 run here. Outside Lowry. Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. This is his second trip to the free throw line. Free throw good. Lowry.
Nice numbers from Lowry. He's got 8 points and 6 assists. The assists have been coming for him, along with putting some numbers up from the foul line, too.
Yeah, I love the unselfishness and then also the tremendous focus that's been on display.
Powell, he's checked in for Joseph. Marcus Smart's checked in for Rozier. Here's Valanciunas. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Here's Powell. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
Thunder's checked in for the Raptors. Raptors leading by 10.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time.
There's the screen. Here's DeRozan. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Green. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Smart kicks to Jerebko. The kick out to Brown. Expanding his range. And the shot is good. Brown's got 5 points in the quarter. Now here is Lowry. D right on him. And the foul on Marcus Smart. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And so Lowry nails both of them. Now Brown. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor, and that concludes
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. The largest lead for them during the period was... All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Kyle Lowry has just been sensational.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
On the court for the Celtics, Thomas is the point with Bradley into his side. Brown out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Zeller into the 5 roaming the paint.
Usually free throws are a formality for him. I didn't expect that result when he stepped up there. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Back to Bradley. He sinks the 11-footer. Bradley's got his second basket of the night.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
And up the court come the Celtics on the break. He dishes it to Crowder. The kick out to Brown from outside the arc. The rebound by Ibaka. Ibaka's got 5 rebounds tonight. And guys, Serge Ibaka's production was just a little off last season. We're not talking... big number changes. We're talking small dips in a number of categories.
Well, one category where he did really fall off, though, Kevin, was field goal percentage. A career 53% shooter, he dropped down to 47.
Celtics making a switch here. Horford's checked in. Celtics trail by 9 to the middle. And it's blocked by DeRozan. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession. The Raptors making a switch here. Joseph's checked in. And then for Boston, Mickey's checked in for Crowder. Gerald Green comes in for Brown. And Smart subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. DeRozan against Bradley. He feeds it to Horford. Here's Carroll. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Carroll's got the lead up to 11 now for the Raptors.
And getting back to Ibaka, everything changed for him the minute Kevin Durant was lost last season. I mean, defenses could focus on him, and he was the Thunder's only front court scoring threat. And as much as he's improved on offense, he still has neither the flexibility nor skill set to be a guy that can be considered a first or second option offensively.
Good. And the Raptors lead by 13.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Got a piece of it. Horford high post. Valanciunas is there. And the rejection by Ibaka. Mickey, second shot opportunity. Nice D from Valanciunas.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
You know, talking about Ibaka, last season was good for his growth. I mean, he got a taste of what it's like to be the first or second scoring option.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. For the Raptors, happy to be here in Toronto right now in the midst of a nice homestand. Last meeting was in Boston, where they were unable to fight off the Celtics.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about. And when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with a road win.
So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. They've got Avery Bradley down out there with Isaiah Thomas. Then there's Horford. And it's Jerebko in at the power forward. Bradley drives in. A shot, no good. Good work defensively by Lowry. And though he's been working on his offensive skills, defense and rebounding are Valanciunas' bread and butter. That was the case with him when he was playing in Lithuania Club, and it's the case now.
It still sure is the case. I mean, it's hard to find a guy with this combination of size, athleticism, and fluidity. Just a tad over-aggressive at times, but I'd rather have to turn a guy down than to turn him up.
And that one's good. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
There's a whistle, and it goes on Isaiah Thomas. That's his first foul. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. That's good.
There they go. Finally able to drop one in on their fourth try.
And what you have to like out of Valanciunas last season, improved efficiency. The game really, Clark, seemed to slow down for him.
Yeah, he entered the league a little green. I mean, would make a lot of mistakes, but had excellent tools. So with enthusiasm and hard work, you knew it was just a matter of time with him.
Now, here's Lowry. His last outing, he had 8 points. And again, it's Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got his second bucket tonight.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation. And for Valanciunas last year, his offensive production was similar to the year before, but he cut down on his turnovers. He also raised his shooting percentage to a career-high 57%. And that, my friends, is improved efficiency. Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey. What's the news, Doris?
He talked about the impact that Al Horford can have on a game and how they'll have their work cut out for them dealing with him. He said Horford's just a complete ball player. He does all the things you want from a big man. He can shoot, handle, and pass. He's always a tough matchup, but it starts with matching his energy level. Kevin, we'll see if they have what it takes.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Ibaka with the screen on Bradley. Here's Valanciunas. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Valanciunas has got 7 points in the game.
You know, talking about Valanciunas, the light clearly went on last season. He was more assertive, refined his post game. The next step is to extend his shooting range so he can help space the floor on offense.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line. Well done again. He doesn't have the same problems at the line that plague some of the NBA's other big men.
Thomas against Lowry. Screened by Valanciunas. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Clock at 6. Here's Valanciunas. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
He hits Brown with the drive. The dish to Horford. Baseline jumper. And the rejection by Valanciunas. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Joseph, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. 6 on the shot clock. Horford kicks to Jerebko. And the rejection by Ibaka. And even 3-on-3 break. And DeMar DeRozan the bucket on the assist from Joseph. DeRozan's got his second basket of the game. It's stolen by DeRozan, and they're moving it up. And it goes as the official calls the foul. count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Raptors?
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Shot by Joseph, no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Outside Thomas to halt the run. They get the rebound.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs.
Now here's Joseph. He's covered by Brown. Pass to Powell. The three. Rebound Boston. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
And given their performance in that game, which was not necessarily a work of art, I had a hard time believing it wound up being as close as it did.
And, you know, as it came down the stretch, Greg, I was thinking, how is this still a game? I mean, how is this still close? You got the sense that it was never going to be their night.
And here is Joseph after the three-pointer from Al Horford, and he gets it to go. Joseph's got his first basket.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
Here's Brown. Got it for his fourth field goal of the game on just 5 shots. Toronto leading by 4. 43 seconds left to play here in the first. It's DeRozan with the drive, and it's sent back by Horford.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Bradley. Joseph with the rebound.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
He kicks it to Powell. From 20 feet out. Here's Patterson, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
There's Brown with the three, and again, Boston with the triple.
For three.
Well, it's been a high-scoring, competitive game through the first quarter of play. It's the Raptors. They're up by 3. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we're ready to get going once more. And the players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. And from what we've seen so far from the Raptors, guys, your thoughts?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
Lowry out there at Corey Joseph. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. Then it's Damari Kidd. And it's Ibaka in at the 4 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Joseph with the ball. He averages about 5 points a game. Here's Lowry. And the shot is good. And the Raptors lead by 6.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now, here's Thomas. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Jerebko, the pass to Horford. Right block shot, so the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And now let's take a look at the stats for Thomas. How's the last month of basketball been for him? 4th in scoring, 6th in three-point field goal percentage, and he's in the top 10 in field goal percentage. Really able to power his way to the bucket and finish through contact.
And as you said, one of the NBA's most potent scorers, always up to the challenge.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Jay Crowder's checked in for Jerebko. Gerald Green comes in for Avery Bradley. And Smart subbed in for Brown. And for Gerald Green, another productive year last season coming off the bench. Though it was a smaller role, a small step back from the season before when he started over half the games for the Suns.
Well, there was a log jam in Phoenix at the wing position last season. He certainly matured, though, as he never complained about not starting, just went out and did his job.
Here's Lowry after the basket by Boston. To the inside, here's Ibaka, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Free throw good. Serge Ibaka. Last game for the Raptors, they picked up the W against the Brooklyn Nets.
And what a luxury when you have depth. I mean, a lot of their scoring in that win came from their reserves. And make no mistake, they carried the load for that team.
Without question, the starters can't do it all game long. You need that help from the reserves, and they got it in that one.
Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really liked. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
And for Smart, though, he still has a lot of work to do on his ball handling and passing. His shooting, I think, exceeded some people's expectations. 37% from the field last year was subpar, but his 34% accuracy from three was solid. He finally started going straight up on his jumper instead of leaning in, and his release looked money.
Mickey's checked in for Isaiah Thomas. So it's Boston now, trailing here by 8. Green, the screen. Pass to Smart. Green dishes to Crowder. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish.
You know, you talk about Smart's lackluster field goal percentage. Once he gets more comfortable with his ball handling and adjusts to the length in the NBA, I think he'll convert more at the basket. That'll also create more drive and dish chances for him as well. You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
The drive by Green. Can they get it? And he finishes nicer on the layup. Green's got 4 points now in the quarter.
The offense really coming around here in the second.
It's about rhythm, Clark. They're up above 50% now for the game, and you'll take that on any night. And defensively, there's still some work, though. They're going to have to shore up.
Now here's Valanciunas. He's got 9. That's good.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
Horford against Valanciunas. And the shot is good. The Raptor lead has been cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Al Horford.
That's exactly why you don't leave your feet until the shooter elevates. He went for that pump fake, hook, line, and sinker.
Now here's Lowry. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Crowder with it. Carroll covering. Shot clock at 6. Nice move. And it's good. Walk through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
I thought they did a better job of getting it inside in the first. I mean, they were... conscious of throwing that ball in the paint and attacking the rim.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Thunder's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Serge Ibaka. DeMar DeRozan. He's checked in for DeMar Carroll. And it's Powell in for Joseph. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
And that's an aggressive play to try to get the rebound. Just a little too aggressive.
And unnecessary. That's over the top. That's doing too much, Greg. He wasn't in good position there, and he was never going to get the ball. He just wasted a foul.
The Celtics making a switch here. Bradley's checked in. And it's Lowry penetrating. Passes it to Patterson. Powell, that's good. Powell's got his first 2 points of the night.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
It's 2-on-1. And here we go. DeRozan's shot is good.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Yeah, can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up there in the paint.
No, I'm sure he's not, Greg. I mean, their defense is showing a lot of holes, especially down low. That's unacceptable.
Here's Mickey. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And as always, the mid part of the NBA season, quite a grueling part of the schedule. Right now, let's check out how the standings are shaping up in the East. Taking a look at Boston. They're holding on to second spot in the conference. A great season for them so far. And, of course, there's Toronto sitting there 4 spots below.
And when you look at Boston, they have caught the entire league off guard. This was not a position anyone thought they'd be in at this stage of the season.
And the credit belongs to them for what they did and didn't do during the offseason. I mean, they had a vision, they set it out, and they stayed true to it.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
Here's Mickey. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That's on Patrick Patterson.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious. You know, even though they're behind, I love the job they've been doing getting to the free throw line.
We always like it when you're aggressive and not settling.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Powell kicks to Lowry. To the paint. It's tipped. Now Crowder. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Here's Rozier. Now recovering. And the basket by Rozier. And DeRozan kicks to Lowry. It's stolen by Bradley. Can't get it to go. And so it...
Thank you, Kevin and Dwayne. A very tight game here.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal. Jonas Valanciunas had it going on in the first quarter. He had 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, give them...
And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just a...
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
And what a tremendous game for Brown. He's got 14 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
Tries to save it, and they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Boston, Jonas Jerebko out there with Horford. Then there's Avery Bradley. Then it's Thomas. And it's Brown in at the shooting guard. Lowry against Thomas. Lowry drives in. Oh, that's blocked. And even 3-on-3 break. Thomas passes to Brown. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Here's DeRozan. The shot is off, and the Celtics going the other way now. We're taking a look at Avery Bradley. His career's been kind of up and down, Greg. Started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
Now, here's Lowry, and stolen by Horford. And it's Bradley off the drive. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Yeah, starting the second half nicely there. Love those easy lay-ins to get things going.
Corey Joseph's checked in for the Raptors. Here's Carroll. Second chance shot. Got a piece of it. Thomas down low. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Boston, no good that time either.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Joseph with the ball, picked up by Brown. And it's Carroll in the corner. Horford against Ibaka. Shot clock at 5. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Pulls it from 20. And again, no good by Toronto.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
Urepko dishes to Brown. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Now here's Joseph. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. There's a whistle, and it goes on Isaiah Thomas. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
To tie. It's stolen by Ibaka. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. And Joseph kicks to Ibaka. And the Raptors miss again. Boston's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Here's Bradley. Puts up the baby hook. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line. And he knocks down the first one. And the Raptors with some changes. Thunder's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Serge Ibaka. And it's Powell in for DeMar Carroll. Now here's Joseph. Not a lot of room. Patterson a screen on Thomas. Here's Joseph. Kicks it to Patterson.
And what Patrick Patterson gives you guys is solid all-around play. He can help you in a lot of areas. High basketball IQ, high character, understands his role, knows his limitations, and stays within himself.
Crowder, he's checked in for the Celtics. And Patterson drops him. Both.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Upside Thomas. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And going back to Patterson for just a moment, he's been lauded for his mature approach. Ever since high school in West Virginia, he was involved in a highly publicized recruiting battle between Florida and Kentucky, ultimately choosing the latter.
Yeah, and you know, the part of his game, Kevin, that he's really worked on is his ability to face up and shoot. Really starting to evolve into a guy that can space the floor, that space 4. And when he's hitting that jumper at a high percentage, I think his value to the team goes up exponentially.
The Celtics have gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. A very slow start offensively. Crowder, the pass to Green. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Raptor shooting has been terrific. 54% on the game. Green with the block. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. Boston on D. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Now, here's Thomas. Guarded closer. 1:39 left in the third. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession.
The last few weeks, you see how Boston stacks up. Second in blocks. Second in opponent shooting percentage. And they also show up as a top 5 rebounding team.
And how about that sky-high ranking in terms of blocks per game? Sometimes that can indicate a team's allowing too many drives to the rim, but it's sure nice to have bigs who can send it away as a last resort. Defense just not strong enough to throw him off his shot there. Sometimes it takes a little more effort to defend him down low.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. The Raptors making a switch here. Lowry's checked in, and a change for the Celtics. Smart's checked in for Thomas. .115 left in the third quarter. Lowry dishes to DeRozan. Feeds to Patterson. They set the pick. 5 to shoot. Here's Powell. Goes back up. Thunder right through the D for the layup. Thunder's got his second basket.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Dishes to Crowder. Pass to Mickey. In the corner, Smart with it. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lowry.
Oh, nice play there. To get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
Damari Carroll's checked in for Powell. There's 38 seconds left to play here in the third. 4 on the clock and out of bounds as Toronto gains possession.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
Al Horford, he's checked in for Boston. Brown comes in for Gerald Green. And Lowry gets it to go. Celtics trail by 4. Smart kicks to Crowder. He feeds it to Smart. There's 14 seconds left here in the third quarter. No good. Good work defensively by Lowry. Right side, DeRozan. And the quarter ends with some stifling defense. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Boston's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Corey Joseph is out there with Lowry. Then it's Ibaka. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Carroll in at the small forward position. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. Jerebko in the post. Defended by Ibaka. Here's Joseph. Outside Lowry. Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Lowry's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Raptors. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Raptors.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
Another part of their game that's made a difference tonight is all the second chance points they've been able to get.
Whoa. And, guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. Celtics trail by 6. Brown inside. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Joseph's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
And then they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Well, I'm sure you guys have heard this, that the nickname that has been given to DeMar Carroll, the Junkyard Dog, I think it's apropos. Kid drafted out of Missouri back in the 2009 draft.
Yeah, and he actually had to show perseverance to hang around as he bounced around a bit. But I think he's found a home now.
Some changes for Boston. Mickey's checked in for Urepko. Jay Crowder comes in for Bradley. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. Puts up the baby hook. Here's Smart. And he converts the layup.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Raptors leading by 6. Outside Lowry. Screened by Ibaka. To the right side. Here's Joseph. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 6 assists in the game. The Celtics have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. And here is Joseph. He dishes it to Carroll. Knocks down the 3 ball. And it's an 11-point Raptor lead.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight